Flash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
Yes, so watching Prime Morning, and it's time for News Flash. It's time for us to delve into what the papers have for us. My name is Rosalind Felly, and this segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phone Papa Perfy. Is there any gadget that you're dreaming of getting and you haven't gotten it yet? Don't worry at all. Franco Trading Enterprise has got that and even many more. All you need to do is to either visit any of our shops or download the app on your phone, which is Franco Trading app, or you visit our website for further inquiries, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Perfy. Like we always do, we are depending on you to send in your messages. And so yesterday, I know I failed to read all messages. Please pardon me. Today, I'm going to try my best to do a 90% or 100%. I'll try. Fingers crossed. So please send in your messages to us. Now, our main topic is to do with the LI on the cement prices. We know Parliament has approved it. And also, if you are a manufacturer or you are a distributor, and you do not comply, you could lose your license. And this is our main topic for this morning. Do you think that government is good to have done this? Or you think that the manufacturers should have just been left to manipulate? I sometimes use that word because sometimes you see the prices on the market and you ask a lot of questions, but what they'll tell you is that the city is weak. What do you expect? If they want to control it, then they ought to make sure they strengthen the city before they come tell us that we are controlling the prices. Well, we are delving into that topic this morning, sending your messages to us. My first guest is seated. Let me introduce him to you, and then I delve into the papers. And hopefully, the others will join for us to have a very good conversation. Seated right now is a lawyer Alex Segbefia. He is a former Minister for Health with the NDC. Good morning, lawyer.
Good morning, Rosalind, and good morning to our cherished viewers.
How are you today?
By His grace, I'm good. And you?
I'm fine, thank you. First time us meeting on set together.
That's correct.
Yes. I hope we have a good show, though.
I'm sure we will.
Fantastic. And you at home, don't forget to join us right now, sending your messages to us. Like I said earlier, I would love to hear your voices and also read out your messages. I'll start with the New Finder newspaper, which is the very first newspaper that I have with me, the New Finder. And it reads, extensive incentives proposed to deliver massive affordable houses. Government requires $600 million to $800 million for external debt service this year. BOG Governor's tenure should extend beyond presidential terms, says IEA. New cocoa pricing system, farmers to absorb global market fluctuations. And this one, I know the farmers are not going to be happy about it at all. EU launches 32 million euros initiative to boost vaccine manufacturing in Ghana. That'll be it for the New Finder newspaper. The Daily Guide newspaper is the next newspaper I'm going to read. The Daily Guide newspaper. 3 shot dead at Banier Krum. Wow, not too good. Sometimes you read some of these papers and you just have chills. Not too good. Courts have no business in our work, says speakers. Anti-LGBTQ plus bill. SC decides applications July 17th. Nana elevates Herbert Crapper to Minister of State. Ochehene calls for environmental stewardship. And we have some stories in the center. Yes, we do. Chef Smith insists GWR is genuine. Okay, Guinness World Record is genuine. Well, yesterday, I know Edu will definitely delve into this during what's trending, but yesterday we heard that Guinness World Records have actually decided to cancel that category. So there's no more a cookathon category. It's just become too much for them. They can't handle it again. Ned Cannon insures his testicles. Oh, wow. Z's Kwesi EP to break boundaries. All right. I saw a story here, and I think I just want to touch on it a little bit. Baumia Napo ticket will break the 8. This is a story here. We know Napo has not been announced yet. As to when he'll be announced, we don't know. Fingers crossed. Will it be today? Will it be tomorrow? Will it be over the weekend? Will it be next week? Let's see what the future holds. Sports, UEFA probes Turkey Demiral celebration. GFA secures 5-star energy drink boost. Cricket Festival bets Obuasi Academy with over 540 kids, and Kobe Stone to host sports betting seminar. Our final newspaper is a New Crusading Guide newspaper. Finance and Housing Ministries collaborate in housing incentives. Baumia's VP choice solid, Professor Eche Sikanku, says so. La Homowo in a limbo as Asafo youth express displeasure over injustice. I have not threatened Adam Bonnet's family, Iyoko Boss says so. NPP fights Mahama over post-service emolument, and the lands minister advocates a robust partnership in mining sector between Africa and Europe to meet SDGs. That will be all with what our newspapers are reporting this morning. And I have Mr. George Kwejo Isi, who is joining us on the ticket of the NPP. Good morning, Mr. Isi. How are you? You have a bit of a flu, don't you? Sorry about that. Last week I was down as well. I struggled a little bit. I couldn't get out of bed for 48 hours, actually. So I can only imagine what you're going through. But please do take a lot of fluids. You'll be fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dr.
Roslyn, yes. And we are definitely counting on you to send in your messages this morning like you always do. Please don't forget that when you send in your messages, we will read it. That I'm assuring you today. I'm going to try as much as possible to do all of that for you. And I'll also introduce my third and final guest who is joining us, and then we can delve into our topic. But today, like I said earlier, our main topic happens to be the LI that has been passed actually on the cement pricing. Now, currently, manufacturers cannot control the prices on their own. They cannot. They've been warned not to even try it, because if you do, your license will be revoked. Openyi Kwame Jantua has joined us on the ticket of the CPP, and Openyi definitely will delve very deep into this. Openyi, I shouldn't attach you to this.
No, don't attach me, delve.
Since when? Openyi, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Great. And our topic, I know everybody here is poised for the conversation this morning. I think the biggest surprise was when the NDC decided to consent to this LI. People were thinking that as opposition, they would have fought against whatever the incumbent says, but they kind of agreed to it. Quite surprising. Since Honorable Alex Sebefia is here, maybe I should ask him why the NDC decided to consent to this LI. Honorable.
They're still, first of all, good morning again once to you, Rosalind, and to my co-panelists, and to our cherished viewers. We have concerns.
Okay.
But I think we were more interested in how it's going to be operationalized as opposed to the actually passing of the LI. Everybody is aware that there are problems with the price of cement. I'm not too convinced that that is totally the fault of our manufacturers, because most of what goes into cement is imported. And therefore, if you have 80 to 90% of cement goods or items that go into cement being imported, any import duties and taxes you have, which are quite high in Ghana, will affect the price of cement. Mm-hmm. And then you have on top of that, all of them being bought in foreign exchange, namely dollars. And so when you have a fluctuating dollar, it means that getting it and the speculation that goes in that area will affect the price of cement.
Yep.
Whether or not it affects it to a degree where the price is being charged by manufacturers is appropriate or good for the people of Ghana is the question. Mm. More importantly, you have laws against pricing control. We are supposed to have an open market. So if I bring tomatoes and I decide to sell them at 5 cedis and somebody decides to sell them at 10 cedis, you're not supposed to stop us. The market will decide. So a customer will decide, well, I'm not going to pay 10 cedis. I'll pay 5 cedis, but I'm entitled to give an advert and say mine is better than yours. That's why mine is 10. So in general principles, pricing controls are frowned upon, especially when you're in international markets and you're allowed to import people's goods and you're also allowed to export your goods. But over the years, there have been ways in which countries protect their products and the way in which they are dealt with. One of the manufacturers in this game is, I don't know how much still comes in, but my colleagues will be able to tell me, is the Dangote cement.
Right.
And with Dangote cement, it is common knowledge that to a certain extent, there's direct or indirect subsidy from the government of Nigeria. And so is that free competition. Yet you would have thought that would have pushed the prices down for the other manufacturers in Ghana. And it doesn't seem to be the case. So some people feel that there is some collusion. I'm not an expert in that area, so I don't want to say that that is the case. If Nigeria, you remember not too long ago, actually closed their borders to stop rice importers and from Benin bringing in goods because it was affecting their prices. So when it gets to a certain point, people take certain actions which will help a particular market. So, and that went on for some months, if not half a year, thereabouts. And that was said to be illegal against ECOWAS rules in terms of, and their argument was that this rice is not produced by any of our neighboring countries, it's being imported through Benin. And then when it gets into Benin, they bring it into Nigeria because of the restrictions we have in Nigeria. So pricing and restrictions on goods is not a new phenomenon. People try it in various ways. However, in this particular instance, there are concerns. One, the concern is whether it's even lawful, because the nature of what is trying to be done and the LI in the way to which it was put is being questioned by Parliament. You know that one of our MPs, our senior MPs, former Minority Leader Haruna, has actually said, look, I might test this in court because I'm not totally convinced that we are in the realms of good law and we should look at it. So on the face of it, the issue is going to come in how it's implemented. Those who want to even be cynical see it as a direct or indirect attack on Ibrahim Mahama's business. And so why is this happening now? And 6 months to an election, or in fact, 5 months to an election, people are concerned about what pricing control is taking place at this stage. Pricing of cement has been an issue for the last 7 years.
Well, let me ask you this. You are saying all these things, but we're also hearing that the NDC in Parliament is consenting to this bill.
Well, we haven't, and when you say consenting, as a majority, they didn't go out and oppose it. I'm aware, or I'm told, that the Chief Whip actually had spoken in favor. I've told you of Mutala, I know, and Haruna have spoken against it. So,
however,
majority carries the vote, and that's what Parliament has done.
Exactly.
So for me, there are many, the fact that it's even being debated, I think, for once, Parliament is working properly, in inverted commas. What do I mean? It's not a blanket we are all against, or we are all in favor. And we've seen Parliament work badly. 84 ministers say we don't want a finance minister. When the time comes to vote, all of a sudden, a majority says, oh, it's okay. So that means that you have one stance, but then the whip is pushed into place. The whip didn't take place. That's all that means. There was no whipping. Have your view, let's go. And that happens in Parliament. If the whip is not invoked, that's fine.
But once you still have the majority agreeing to it, then it means that the NDC has consented to it. One or two people, yes, coming out to say that they do not agree, they might test it in court, still will not win it as an NDC thing because the majority of the NDC have consented to it. So
no,
the NDC,
it's not that the majority of the NDC
not.
have consented. The majority of Parliament have passed it.
Yeah, but NDC also spoke about
yes,
it.
but if you have to be careful with the wording, Rosemary. Yeah. If you say the majority of NDC, then I would take umbrage.
Okay.
If you say the majority has passed it in Parliament, made up of MPP and NDC, then I agree with you.
Okay.
Because you only need 2 people or 3 people on the NDC side to get your marriage, to get your majority. So a good number of NDC people are against it.
Okay.
The only difference, I believe, is that the whip was not invoked, where they push people to say, look, this is our position on it. And therefore, this is where we are. And I'm being very careful because I'm not sure that we had a policy or a position as a party on that particular bill. So once you leave it open, you're going to have different views. And that's how come you're not going to get a concerted effort by everybody to say no or yea. Personally, I have concerns, but I have not got enough information to voice them totally.
Okay.
But I tend to agree.
What are some of your concerns, though?
Pricing control is always a problem for me. I've seen it in under the Achampong regime when we had Kalabule and we had all kinds of cheats and whatnot. If you're not careful, you're going down that road, it's very dangerous. And it doesn't work. Okay. Eventually, things, because all that happens is it goes underground. People will not, and you're not also restricting the retailer. So if you say the manufacturer must sell at 2 cedis, and therefore you are hoping that the retailer is going to sell it at 3 cedis, and all the retailers decide to sell it at 5, and a kickback is given back to the manufacturer, you then have work done is 0. So how is this pricing control supposed to work against manufacturers if the retailers are not being brought in as well in terms of pricing control? Because it's not a done thing. Like I said in the beginning, pricing control, you should allow the market to work. But what I think this is trying to stop is when manufacturers come together, work in unions. And so if that happens, then you have a monopoly. There's only one voice, as opposed to proper competition. And when Dangote Cement came first, there was proper competition. It forced the prices down, if you remember. But it was unfair in many people's eyes because he was selling his cement with a subsidy which none of the others had. So, interesting topic, interesting debate, but it's not the case. I do not believe the whip was invoked. I stand to be corrected.
Okay. Mr. Isi, sorry about how you're feeling.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
We are looking at the Nigerian market where there's a subsidy on Dangote cement. Why didn't we just give a subsidy on, our local cement as well so that we can use it to regulate the prices instead of trying to put an LI on the manufacturers? Because our cedi to our dollar ratio is not the best, and that is what is affecting the price.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning to you, your viewers, your production crew. Good morning to the Honorable Alex Serwifia, former Minister of State. And good morning to Senior Counsel.
Morning.
Lawyer Gentia. The context of Ghana going possibly subsidy is actually out of the question from the get-go. You know why? Because of the times in which we are, the IMF issues and all that. So there's not going to be the acceptance of that even on the table from the beginning. So that's what we need to put right out, because this issues of electricity tariffs and all that is being at the table for discussion in our bids to go in for the IMF program. And so the IMF doesn't see how government should be subsidizing energy consumptions when the IPPs and the other organs are purely profit-oriented. So they are doing business. So why should government be pumping money in there? And so if you go to put cement on the table, definitely it's going to be a no. So how then do we get the market going? And that is a very strategic and vital, critical industry. The housing industry thrives on cement production, of course, with iron ores and others. And we are told we have a gaping gap of about 1.6 million deficit in housing units. And so if that were the case, people are trying to develop in that sector. What can we do with the rates of rise in cement pricing? As of close of 2016, a bag of cement was hovering around between 29 and 33 cedis. Today, we are talking between 90 and 106 or 108 in some instances, and it's serious. And you're right, the factors that are determining these definitely has got something to do with the exchange rate. So you cannot discount that. And we should actually, in a free market economy, you are looking at the demand-supply dichotomy to determine the pricing, because the demand is either going up or going down. That is there. But I think the minister thought, in spite of all these, the environment doesn't look too good. The way the prices are going up, he has to step in with an ally. And yeah, rightly so. Ministers are clothed with the authorities. There's a minister here, so to regulate and then to implement policies and co, and roll out policies and co. So he's decided to put in the regulatory authority that he has, and he's going to get it stamped in Parliament. So he brought these ally. And Parliament is debated. I'm happy some members of the minority thought it was good to look at it, because almost every Ghanaian, now every young Ghanaian that starts working, immediately they look at getting their own 3-bedroom or something. So they begin to get cement blocks. No, everywhere. It's been the story. Every Ghanaian. You know, yes, we say there's no money in Cuba. Go to certain places and see the kind of buildings that are springing up.
They are all MPP.
Oh! Below the belt. Below the belt. You get it.
I apologize.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So, because of that, we need to do something to see how that can be. But something also, the Professor Alex Dodu, Ghana Standards Authority, said that whilst pushing this, they are looking at the investors' interests as well, so that the investor will not be discouraged in coming onto the Ghanaian market. Now, looking at investors' interest, protecting the consumer's interests. So there should be a middle way so that, you know, and I believe in doing these regulations, what it means is that there's going to be a price setting or adjustment board in place, so that the manufacturers, the policymakers, and then, of course, consumer protection teams will be at the table to agree, okay, on what price to give at any time T. Because now the price is being regulated. If that is the case, then it's going to be a win-win situation, because the investor shouldn't be losing. Otherwise, they may pull out of the Ghanaian economy. But what is bothering me, maybe we can all look at, what happens to those who import the products to Ghana? And as Honorable said, the retailer is not part of this whole LI. And I agree with Honorable that what happens if they decide to also form another cabal at that stage, because we are trying to kill the cabal at the manufacturing stage? What happens there? And then they bring a kickback to them to get them going. What happens? We're back to square one. But what it is, I think they should look at the retailing angle and then the importation angle, so that,
I think that
the manufacturers in Ghana will not
in Ghana here
lose.
There's a fundamental issue.
Yes.
Is the cedi to the dollar. Why are we not tackling it?
It's bad.
Why are we just looking at putting out LI to control prices? Why are we not tackling the fundamental issue that will bring down the prices?
Wow, how do you tackle that?
How
Government
don't you tackle it? You told us when you were coming into power in 2016 that you were even going to drop it from 3.6 to probably 1:1. We are now 1:16. And we are being told that we are... 15.4? It's not 15.4, it's 16 as of yesterday morning.
No, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So yesterday, I changed $300 and I ended up getting
in the black market?
5,000.
In the black market?
No, I was paying for something. I don't change in black market.
Oh, okay. So that's the official Bank of Ghana rate you're quoting here?
Yes, I'm quoting.
Okay.
Yes, 16.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So currently, that is where we are today. And as of now, we don't talk about it. We don't tackle the fundamental problem.
What is the fundamental? The right issue
is that we need to strengthen our city.
Of course, and you see, as long as the importation rate is high, as long as, you know, we having our reserve, is part of the determining factor for the exchange rate. As we speak, our reserve is about 6.6 billion, okay? No, at a point in time, Bank of Ghana decides to say, we're going to push about 20 million, it happened in the past, $20 million every week onto the market. That is not what is happening now, okay? And fortunately for us, we are on the industrialization path. And
we've been on that path for 7 years.
Yes, we're beginning to get trade surpluses and all that. All these things can inure to the strengthening of our currency because it's demand. If the demand is not there, and you're right, if we know that people from other countries come in to buy dollars from here and take them out.
So what are you doing
it's part of it? No, that's the policy that Bank of Ghana ought to put measures in place.
You have been in power for almost 8 years.
No, and the issue of the abochi
to be put in place?
Yes, so Bank of Ghana is taking steps about this. You are aware for some time, and it doesn't seem to be responding and addressing the issue properly. Okay, we all know elsewhere you travel, it's not easy to get dollar on the open market. It's not easy, but that's not the case here. So it is incumbent on us as a government to take steps to ensure that the abochi doesn't control the forex market. That is important, but whatever it is, it means you must have more dollars in your system, okay? So that demand-supply dichotomy will not then push the dollar up against the CD. It's something that Bank of Ghana's monetary policy ought to address. So we'll be working. Is it?
They haven't.
Oh no, they've been working on it. No, they've been working on it. We saw some time. No, we saw some time that arrest. I disagreed with that. Yeah. People were pushing for arrests to be made in the black market. I thought that is not good for a liberal economy, a free market economy. We need to put stringent measures that can check the thing itself. People make the argument that people in the banking system actually deal with the abochi, push the money there and all that. Well, that's another matter. But I think policy decisions should rather be checking that. So you're right. These LI and co, let's look at it, how it will save the investor well and then protect the consumer. And I think once the minority, some have come to support it, I think it's good for all of us. It's the protection of the industry. But will it work?
That's the question I'm coming to Openyi Jantua with. Openyi, the manufacturers are saying once the CD is weak, it will not work. Because if the CD keeps depreciating, of course, everything else keeps going up. And so you cannot control the market. Do you agree?
Good morning. We know how to talk around things when we are not ready to handle the issue. What is one of the major challenges in this country with our city? Imports. We're importing. Everything is being imported. It goes to call for more dollars to import. More dollars to import. When you look at the export of raw materials in this country, how much do we get to bring more foreign exchange into the country? Not much. And when they came into power, what did they tell us? Added value, added value, added value. 8 years. What has happened? It's a challenge. And you see, the sad point is that at the end, it's the retailer, the person who buys, is the one who suffers. Because everything is what? Piled onto them. And then you find, when was the last time your salary increased? When was the last time people's purchasing power increased? So it's a challenge. But the Speaker of the House has advised that the bill be withdrawn so that the right, I think, terminology should be used in bringing it back. But I don't understand how you want to bring a certain bill in, certain LI in, and the discussions is one-sided. Manufacturers are crying. JIDA has said it could work, but we are not part of those discussions. And why? Look, it is not a privilege to have a roof over your head. It is a right to have a roof over your head. And people will continue building. I can tell you today, lots of people who are building have halted. They can't afford the prices. They can't afford the prices. And it's got to do with our economy. Simple. What taxes are on there? Quite a lot of taxes on there. So it's a question of us sitting down. You bring your point, I bring my point, because we are all working for the consumer, no? So bring your point, and let's see where we strike. Today, nobody has been able to tell us, I'm not sure that Alex can tell us, I'm not sure whether George can tell us, what the actual profit margin is on cement. What's the actual, what is the break-even point? What is the point of loss? Nobody has been able to say it. And don't you think the minister should have outlined this to us? But I understand he invited them for a discussion, and they got there and said the press was there, so they wouldn't say. What kind of thinking is that? So on both sides, you see there are lapses. Somebody should call this thing to order. Somebody should. Because cement prices affect everybody. I listened to Alex Dodu yesterday on your station, Joy, and he indicated that some of the cement even is substandard. Some of the cement is not meant for actual building. It's meant for other things in construction.
Like
yes.
Oh, yeah.
And some people use some of that for foundation.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask, why have we sat down all this while?
This is a question that has been asked by a retailer. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with a retailer, and I said, have you heard about it? And he said, why have we sat down all this while where we have so many, goods in the market which are inferior? We haven't done anything about it, but today we want to do something about it. Could it be because we are in an election year?
No. This is way before an election year, Roslyn. Do you know that when Standard Board looked at the electrical wiring in this country, the companies that did it and what people were bringing in, do you know it was the Ghanaian companies that passed the test? But do you know the quantum of taxes on their manufacturing of those wires that they can't compete? So you ask yourself, did we go or did we come? What is government there for? Is government there for the interest of themselves? Is government there for those in business? Is government there for the ordinary man? Government should be there for all, but they have a duty of care to make sure that they monitor what is going on. The price of cement can continue to rise. It started at what price? I'm sure one time ago it was ACDs.
Yeah, 8, went to 17, 22.
Over what duration of time? Yeah. It's now 102. How many people can afford a bag of cement? But let me end by saying, we've got to be able to look within. I would have thought, and Dr. Alex Dodu said yesterday, that they have brought in a new type of cement that is Ghanaian, where they've used clay, and they hope that would reduce the prices. Will it? Because remember, within the cement industry itself, there's a cartel. What do you call it? Dangote, when he came, he faced problems. There's a huge cartel in there. And when you say cartel, what does it mean? They are looking at how they maneuver prices. So it is something that we need to look at. It is something that government needs to take seriously. And I don't know whether around the cabinet table they are discussing this particular issue, because it has to be discussed. It has to be. Your house is, and every house after a certain duration needs maintenance. Cement is an integral part of whether maintenance or building. Many people can't afford. What's going to happen? If for nothing at all, the increase of cement prices is going to increase people's rent.
Well, rent has gone up already, and so whether cement prices will go up or not, the rent will still go up.
The other thing we should also look at, apart from cement, are all the attributes you use to build a house. Iron rods, sand, stone, all those things. That's what I don't and yesterday, Alex Dodu indicated that some people even use quarry dust to mix the cement. That doesn't make the cement strong.
Well, at the time...
So there are issues that need to be looked at before we even come to pricing. Who is doing it?
Who Who is doing it? That's the question, but we are trying to get to the bottom of it. We are going to read the messages right now, and this segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still full papa perfie. No matter the gadget you're looking for, just go to Franco. You can download the app on your phone, which is Franco Trading app, or you can visit our website, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone papa perfie. So time to read our messages, and let me see what I have. So, like I always have so many messages that come in. Yes, okay. So I'm going to start from this one. It says, good morning. I don't know what. Okay, say good morning. Good morning to you too. Okay, let me try to get these ones. Trying to get the messages. Please pardon me. Okay, so I think it starts from here. All right, so I don't know what's going on because it keeps skipping. So I hope it doesn't skip again. Where are the messages? It starts from here. There's supposed to be a Meshach. There's that. All right, so Meshach's on this here. Okay, good. Meshach Asante Atamasaman says, this administration led by Nana Bawumia is the worst government Ghanaians have ever witnessed in the Fourth Republic, and the only person who can bring Ghana back on track is President Mahama through the Game Changer 24-hour economy policy. John and Jane all the way. Greetings to Senor Apenyo, incoming MP Amasaman. All right, in fact, this MPP government has ended Ghana. I tell you, even the Bank of Ghana self broke. Now we, the citizens, how do government use 29 million cedis to collapse banks that could have been functional with 9 million forgotten the role indigenous banks play? And no ne yenne. Okay, from Ablade Fiyekumazongo Takrade. Good morning, Madam, and to your special guest. What do Nanado and his officials take us for? Now they realize that election is just around at the corner, so they are now pretending to control prices. Open, you see what I said? This is what people are saying, actually, just to look good in the eyes of voters. But I'm convinced that Ghanaians will surely punish the wicked, heartless, and corrupt government. We'll never allow these deceivers to deceive us again. My regards to incoming MP for Mion, Alhaji Misbah Sumani Hamza. Al-Hassan Sise from Zenu Central says, good morning to everyone. This current government and the ministers are not thinking right, or they have run out of ideas. That is why Katie Hammond and the rest will continue to be bringing unthinkable bills to Parliament. If I may ask, is it only cement prices that have gone off the roofs? What about the common foods that keep the people alive? In fact, everything in this country has gone up except the height of the president, and everything is in reverse gear. The government of the day should work on the fundamentals of the economy and stop the lazy way approach of our problems. Okay, this is a birthday message. It will be done for you. Don't worry at all. Akonsi Gariba from Tamale says, good morning, Rosalind. For me, the LI on cement price regulation is good and should be applied to other commodities in Ghana. Some people are taking advantage of our weak system to create artificial hardships for Ghanaians, which is very sad. The earlier something is done about the price of goods and services in the country, the better. Else, it will get to a stage where the central government can no longer control the hardship of Ghanaians. It's possible for Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and Dr. Napo. Okay. Good morning, Sister Rosalind. Ghanaians should give John Dramani the second chance to build the Ghana we all want. Look at the beautiful E-blocks all over the country. The hospitals, Tema and Takrady Port expansion, Terminal 3 at the airport, Kumasi Airport, the interchanges, and the gas and oil infrastructure, and the free progressive SHS. This shows that JDM is the best. The MPP has nothing to show, only looting the state and keeping the dollars in their homes just because they have a match fixer, that's Godfrey Dami, to protect them. Solomon Zenu Martin Luther. General Cisco from Commander says, good morning, Joint Prime. If the Trade Minister wants to control prices of cement, then he should extend it to other building materials. Where is their mantra of moving from taxation to production? So what does the NPP government take Ghanaians for? Any Ghanaian who's rational should help let this NPP Nanado Bawumia government go back to opposition and pray they never come back. Our only hope now is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Good morning, Rosalind, and to your panelists. It's very obvious that every sector of Ghana is corrupt and nothing is working. It will surprise you to know how BEC is conducted in Upper Denchira, East and West is very poor. For over so many years now, candidates do not write BEC on their own, no proper supervision. This has been affecting the performance of students when they continue and also influencing the younger students at the basic level not to recognize the importance of education. Please help us broadcast for readers. Please treat it as serious or with all seriousness, okay? I would like to discuss some issues with you in private. With all respect, kindly send me your number. Rock from Denchira. Rock, my producer, will send his number so you can talk to the producer. Good morning to you. My producer will send his number. Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Is this the NPP who said they are listening government? Now they cannot hear and see all kinds of demonstration about arrears everywhere, especially NAPCO trainees. No sensible person could even come out to give them words of hope and address the problem, even upon the chief vaulter of Volta Region Appeals, Dr. Baumia, to settle arrears 2 months now. We are not hearing anything. President Nana Addo quoted Psalm 118 verse 24 to launch the NAPCO, or to launch the NAPCO trainee program in 2018. What is happening now? This is true. It was a vote-buy initiative, not jobs for the youth. They should again polish another scam initiative and come. We'll show them that we are graduates, not farmers. God is watching. Mensa Majid is from Bechem, Toronto, says, my regards to Honorable Charles Akwesi Esiedu, incoming MP for Tano South constituency. In 2016, a bag of cement was 16 cities, and it has increased to 108 cities. So sad. Imposing airline on cement manufacturers is a lazy man approach. They should stabilize the city. Where is the economic messiah? In opposition, Baumia said that when their fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. Now the fundamentals are weaker, and he should fix them. It will be ridiculous and a disaster for a good citizen to vote for Dr. Baumia. They promise to move Ghana from taxation to production. What are we producing today? Nana Jantua is always on point. I love that. Honorable Akisme said, good morning, Obapa Roslyn. The continuous increase in cement prices under President Nana Addo's government is alarming. And despite the soaring cost, cement producers fail to comply with regulations. It's time to take action. The airline requirement for manufacturers' licenses should be enforced, and those who don't comply should have their license revoked. Well, that's what is being said, though. We need to hold them accountable for the exorbitant prices Ghanaians are forced to pay. The current situation is unacceptable, and it's time for a change. Regards to CEO of A&A Drinking Water. But you see, the thing is, we are looking at even fuel pricing going up. And with the fuel pricing, it's gone up. How are we going to control the cement prices? It means that somebody is going to suffer for it.
No, we are going to suffer. Don't say somebody. We
are suffering. We are going to suffer for it. Because fuel prices have shot up.
Those are the external attributes to cement. Because when you buy, you've got to transport. When it is manufactured, it's got to be transported. And if transport prices have gone up, it affects the price.
There's a bigger, look, and I don't want to put my brother on the spot, but I have to. We have failed in the last 7 years to do everything that they said they would do.
Is it 7 years? Is it no more than 7 years?
7.5.
I'm being generous. So that failure is manifesting itself everywhere. Everywhere. Cement is just, you're talking about cement, but somebody has there are other things that go with cement.
That's what I'm saying. Fuel prices go up as well.
Everything is in a bad area. Wow. And so now, you've decided to look at cement. And there are so many issues in the country. And this is why I said that, look, no matter what we thought was happening 8 years ago, there's absolutely no comparison in how the country was going. Cement prices, you just look at the price where it was and look at where it is now. We are paying that over 100 Ghana cedis for a bag of cement. And it's not all down to exchange rate is a big factor.
The exchange rate is where, Ghanaians are not too happy. Should I come to you?
Why not? Why not?
One issue is also the control of pricing of fuel. We are seeing government trying to control cement. A government is not trying to control fuel pricing.
Oh, but government is putting measures. The gold for oil and coal, they are all
gold for oil
policies.
has been in
They are all
existence for 2
policies.
years. It
Yes,
hasn't
they are
done
all
anything.
policies. What it tells you is that, but for that, we would have been way beyond where we are. And 2, the gold for oil, there are limitations to it. The IMF thinks you shouldn't go beyond a certain threshold. Because once you are within the IMF engagement, you know, there are certain things you cannot do. So those are part of the issue. So if you're doing about 25% of gold for oil, you don't go beyond that. It is the intention of government and the Ministry of Finance to maybe go beyond a certain threshold. But because of the engagement, you need to. But there were policies that were aimed at, you know, checking the fuel pricing, skyrocketing and all that. So that's something that we need to look at.
Fuel pricing has skyrocketed.
Yes, it moved on.
Yes, it has
moved.
skyrocketed.
So it's moved from about, I think, 16.8 to about, you know, 70 or more per gallon, right? So yes, we will not discount that.
Prices.
We will not discount that. And then again, the issue of honorable lawyer saying movement and co, pricing, cement moving and co is part of the, I think we can take that out. You know why?
Why?
Because when you're moving, the bulk transportation, the fuel, he is in the petroleum industry. Fuel is sold same everywhere in the country.
Have you ever
True or
transported
false?
Cement before?
No, I'm coming.
No, because you are charged per bag.
Yes. No, you get me. No, don't worry. Don't worry.
Personal interest.
No, what we're saying is that if it can be done in the fuel industry, can it be done? Because sometimes I also look at it and say, it's not fair that why should I be buying maybe a bag of cement at 95 here in Accra, okay? And somebody maybe in Bolga is buying it at maybe 110 because of the transportation. It's not fair to that consumer there. So how can we even that? Like we do for oil, transportation, and coal. So that can be factored in. And so this regulatory board can look at that, okay? So these are matters that we need to look at. And I disagree with people who say, yes, we've not been in good times, situations, and I'll keep repeating it, exogenous factors have hit us. And we as a government also decided to implement a lot of expenditure programs for the Guineans' benefit. Somebody sent in a message about NAPCO, right? It wasn't there hitherto. And so government decided a 3-year policy stopgap to give experience to the young graduates who were, you know, working on the streets. And some will then transition into permanent employment. Some will go and be their own business people and go. It was a strategic policy that we put in place to help them. You get it? And so the funding, where is it going to, can we sustain that? We did it for 4 years instead of the 3 years that originally was planned. So it's meant to support them. And I hear them saying the arrears, I agree, arrears ought to be paid because they've worked for that. You get it? And so we need to look at that. But there were policies that hitherto were not there. Free education policies that hitherto were not there. Okay, and so all these things were meant to cushion the Ghanaian. These are meant to cushion the Ghanaian, and it's a forward-looking policy for the Ghanaian.
Free education. Yes. You tell us in NAPCO, these are campaign promises you made to us.
Yes.
These are the reasons why we voted you into power.
Yes, and we implemented them
with them, and especially
why?
Looking at the fact that you have a situation where NAPCO employees are being owed arrears, you don't have to owe them arrears.
How long?
They complain all the time.
How long? I did my national service maybe 3-6 months, you are not paid.
But
what are we talking about? What are we talking about? No, I have said that we got to pay them. The policy is ended. So anybody that is owed ought to be paid. But you cannot sit here and say it was an unnecessary policy.
Nobody said that.
You said that.
No, I never said that.
I never said that.
I didn't say that.
No, you said.
No, I said
that's my deduction. No. Because she said that we cannot take credit for it because because we promised it.
No.
Come on.
She's saying
what
that.
kind of logic is
No, that's not the logic. She's saying that
I'm sorry.
I'm also
we got to be hard on these guys.
We have to be hard on it. And let's talk about the fact that is there.
Put your questions in proper context. Because I made a promise, I cannot take plaudits for it.
No, you are saying this is the reason why we are where we are today. The policies. You did policies and that has caused us where we are today. You cannot tell us that the policies that you put in place is the reason why we are here where we are today.
No, it's part. Compendium.
How is it part? You didn't tell us that the policies that you are giving to Ghanaians is what is going to give us problems one day.
So it is. And then the exogenous factors also come into crash. We didn't envision or anticipate the kind of COVID and Russia-Ukraine effect.
COVID gave you 33 billion. Let's not forget about it. COVID gave you 33 billion.
Who's 33 billion?
COVID gave you 33 billion.
From where?
Yes. From where?
Yes.
You don't know about it?
No, I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you then.
I know about
COVID gave you
1 billion.
No, it's
Whatever
33
the
billion.
case is.
It's $33 billion. It's $33 billion. You can actually Google it though. It's there. It's 33. COVID gave us 33 billion. We keep on blaming COVID all over the time.
You see, let me tell you, the COVID effect, you know it. When you shut your
Did we make money? Did we make money? No. Okay, all right.
When teachers work for 9 months and they are paid, stay home for 9 months.
Are we not still paying COVID levy?
What is the
Are we still paying COVID levy?
No, what is the effect of production?
We still pay COVID levy as of today. It is serious. And this is it. We will not sit down and make it seem as though we don't know what it is. What it really is that we make money out of COVID. I'm not pushing propaganda. It is a fact. It is a fact.
What is the fact? What is the fact?
We made 33 billion. It's a fact. Yes, Google it. That's all. Google it. We made 33 billion. And everybody knows in Ghana here we made 33 billion. But we had COVID. We are sick and tired of
NBC guys said 30 billion. Everybody said, where from the 30 billion?
You can check though.
You're pushing 33 billion. I don't know. I've not seen the Auditor General's report on that yet.
Please go and look for it. Then when you find it, you can actually
put it out for us to settle the matter.
I hope there's no sugar.
You
see, if they say you stole money and you stole 100 Ghana, and you say, no, I only stole 70 Ghana.
You still stole.
This is the point. You got money under COVID. Let me even take your
whether 21,
let me take your
whether 10
billion.
Whether 12,
no,
you got money. You got money.
You don't have to argue that.
What was the?
You don't have to argue that.
Stop the analysis. Stop the analysis.
The way you are doing the
stop the analysis.
Because I don't even know which leg I've told you they don't pay you enough for.
No. This is in context.
You understand?
Economy, the tourism sector, everything shut down.
But that is why you
still make money.
Is Ghana the only country that had a shutdown?
Check the GDP.
Is Ghana the only country that had a shutdown?
How many regions did we shut down? How many regions did we shut down? Accra, Kumasi.
Let's move on.
Roslyn. Look, two things government should have looked at when they came in. We import a lot of cement. Why didn't they look at manufacturing cement here? When with clinker, we have everything here to do it. Number two, we talk about transport prices and we talk about fuel. Do we not have an Akosombo Dam? A toll? Do you not have a toll? Are you trying to tell me that if we looked at toll and built toll back, we won't be able to produce our own fuel? Is that what you're trying to tell me? It's been done before. Here's leader took 1 million barrels of GMPC stock to toll, and they did refined petroleum products. Would that not help us? Are we doing it? But let me ask you a question. Are subsidies bad?
Well, subsidies are not bad, but looking at our currently...
Why do we sit for IMF to come and tell us that we can't subsidize? Are they not subsidizing? Doesn't America subsidize the agricultural sector in America?
Europe, the whole Europe.
The whole Europe. Do they not subsidize?
Are they coming?
Let me give you a statistic. Cotton used to be subsidized by government. When PFJ1 came in, they stopped the subsidy. The cotton industry is dead. There are ginneries in the north that at the present moment are closing down. But when you look at cotton, it's very profitable. The actual seeds from cotton, You can use it 3 times over after harvest. And the industry is dead. And quite a lot of businesses, quite a lot of people were getting employment in the north because of cotton growing. And they said they've taken subsidies, so the industry is dead. Can you tell me that they care? You know what you're trying to tell me? That they care? That they are only interested in satisfying their masters out there. Because really and truly, I don't understand how fuel prices should get to where it's gotten, because it's capital flight.
Well, he's saying that they have put in policies, and
what
it's
policies?
one of the reasons
What policies?
why we are where we
no,
are.
No, what policies?
He spoke about free SHS.
No, I'm talking about fuel. What policies have they put down for fuel?
I touched on gold for oil.
Oh, please, what has it done? It could be a good policy. Has it affected the pocket of the Ghanaian? And you see, that is what they forget. The economy of Ghana is not what people say, growth. There, you come and sit here and do. It's in the Ghanaian's pocket.
And they told us so.
Of course, every election.
It's in the Ghanaian's pocket.
What is it?
Ghanaian, are you looking at President? Yeah. You're not looking at it today. Please, don't even go there.
Everybody
don't even
do that.
President Kufuor, who brought President Tiaba, do you even consult him? Do you consult him? Look, where we are today, it would have been a great idea. A great idea. President Kufuor is the president of this country, yes. But it is a situation where everybody is going through. And everybody is going through. As we are sitting here discussing, they should be able to do that.
Do what?
There's President Mahama, there's President Akufo-Addo, there's President Kufuor.
There's Dr. Baumia.
Dr. Baumia. Once in a while, I'm talking about the top three.
Definitely.
Once in a while, Ghanaians should see them meeting and discussing. What does it do? If for nothing at all, it brings unity. Today, this country is split in two. And they are trying to tell us that in the last 8 years, Ghana has become a place where you can look at. Has it? Has it? Look at our education system today. Look at what they are doing to the education system today. They want to do backdoor and bring in the old O level. So they are saying what? Senior high school will go for how many years? 6 years. If you want to stop it and let's all sit and discuss it.
No.
And one thing I don't understand about them is that when they want to bring in a policy, when they want him to bring in, I'm not bringing, it's all part and parcel.
It's not part of it.
It's not part and parcel of it.
Oh, okay, then I can also choose my topics.
They should be able to consult and sit with people and talk. Please, go back, as the speaker has advised, go back. Manufacturers, real estate people, those who buy, sit around the table and say, okay, this is what we brought in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is where we don't like. What can you do about these increases? Let them tell you what their challenge is. Strike it out and we move forward. Cement prices can't keep going up. A bedroom baby, nobody will be able to buy.
But this is why they are putting
the way you are saying that they
implementation.
can't keep going up, I have a problem with that. Has the exchange rate gone down?
The exchange
They
rate
don't want
has
to look
been-
at that.
But that's the fundamental problem, though.
That is the
That's the
point.
They don't want to look at
problem.
that.
You see, if the exchange rates with our, we are used, as you have already pointed out, 90% of what we do is imported products for cement.
Yes.
We don't manufacture cement. They do.
We have the ingredients to manufacture cement.
We don't have clinker, which is the key.
Yeah.
So we import.
I mean, no.
What's
There are what do you call it? Products to manufacture clinker in Ghana. I can name them for you.
Yes, but I'm saying
Why aren't we doing it?
we don't have it.
We don't have a factory
and we are
here.
never
Why
going-
aren't we
No,
doing
we don't.
it?
Please,
One
Anyway,
government, one
never
factory
be.
should have started from that point.
I don't disagree with
so
you.
for now,
I'm saying
for now, the issue here is
now.
to have our city strengthened.
You made a comment that
exchange rate,
prices
that's
are
what the
going
problem-
up.
Yeah, they
And it's
can.
as if the
They
prices
should.
are going up for some reason that we don't know.
Yeah.
It is simple. It's like saying that, the reason why we are in this mess is because of Russia, Ukraine, and COVID. Hello?
Hi.
You have borrowed us out of a...
Yes.
It's mismanagement.
Yes.
So if you don't see it, and you are trying to hold on to things which everybody in the world had.
And we are telling you.
Look, Russia and Ukraine. We went there. President Nana Addo went there, or didn't he go there? He went there. And he didn't, I'm not telling you, it's a fact. he
went to Russia.
He went there and asked the Ukrainians to give us wheat for free. They are at war, and you are looking for free wheat. And you want to use them as an excuse why we have problem in Ghana. I mean, why? We wash our face up. People have recovered already from COVID and Russia and Ukraine. It's not part of the equation.
It was at a point. It was.
So
Yes, I said,
Yes.
the
As a
British
part of
Prime
war.
Minister has admitted in the British Parliament.
At a point. At a point.
Joe
I
Biden
won't
has admitted the
agree.
challenges.
Wait,
Listen,
wait,
listen,
Mr. Isi,
please.
Wait,
You can't
At a
compare
point,
the two.
Mr. Isi, at a
What
point,
can they
Mr.
compare?
Isi,
Are we
at a
not in the
point.
same
Economy
world?
is much bigger. They
Can you
suffered
imagine
COVID.
this?
They
Can you
suffered
imagine
COVID
this?
more than we did.
Can you imagine
But
this?
We do agree that at a
I
point.
never said that
Yes.
COVID doesn't have an effect. I never said that Russia-Ukraine doesn't have an effect.
Okay.
I'm saying in 2024, when you still want to use them as an excuse for
Then
the
there's a
mess we are
problem.
in, we have a problem.
And I'm telling you,
It
the
is not
British Prime
justified.
Minister did that in 2024.
Why? But isn't he fighting for his own dear life? Like you are? Isn't he also fighting for his own dear life?
You'll be there.
As you are now struggling to stay? Because the people of Britain
Joyce.
who wear it,
Don't wear it.
Yes.
and they even had deeper what's it
COVID than
called
we did.
effect from COVID than we ever had. You can even imagine.
Yes.
So look, people should stop talking about COVID and what's it called, Russia and Ukraine.
Your leader
You have
spoke
to
about
stop.
it in Harvard.
You have borrowed us out of a problem.
No.
You have
No.
gone out. Your whole finance minister came out and told us that we are going to get 4 billion.
4.7 billion.
Meanwhile, all that has happened is that the interest that we haven't paid over the last 2 years has accumulated and is 4 point something, and somebody says, you don't have to pay. There's no money coming in.
Yeah, it's just a
There
waiver.
is no money coming
No, you
in.
don't.
It's a waiver.
Understand it.
But it
You
means, that, it
understand?
means that we are
Understand
going to have our IMF last tranche come in, and then we are going to also have
Have
the
you
World
been
Bank money
paying?
come
No,
in.
you see, you
Respite.
people don't. If you were paying interest on that
Yes,
money every
yes,
year,
yes.
you can talk about money coming in. It has been sitting on a book, on a paper. You are not paying for it. You are just being told you owe, you owe, you owe. Nobody is doing anything about it. They say you don't have to pay. And it's
No, you don't
how would that
understand
change your
it,
economy?
Honorable.
Because you were never
You
paying.
don't understand it, Honorable.
You never were not paying. That is money that is owed.
How can a country live on loans?
But
How can
we
the
have been
country-
living on
We've been
loans
pay-
for a very
we've
long
been-
time. For
we've
this,
been-
for the
listen,
loan
listen.
issue,
No,
for the loan
listen,
issue is both
listen.
political parties.
Yes.
NDC goes to
No,
borrow,
let me give
NPP
you
goes to borrow, and that's why we are where we are
Let
today.
me give you
NPP
the
is still
There is
paying
nothing
loans
wrong with
that
borrowing.
NDC went to take.
Yes.
There
This
is
is how
nothing
you
wrong
use
with
it.
borrowing.
No.
This is how you
What you
use
use
it.
the money for is what matters.
Right.
Yes, we have used
And
it.
the
Do you
degree-
think-
and the degree
Let-
of
look at
borrowing.
it. I
The
disagree
degree
with
of borrowing.
Gentlemen,
Listen,
please, let's
yes,
say-
let's come to the issue. He spoke
Yeah.
about the manufacturing industries in Ghana, the cement industry. But Gasam is here. It's producing here in Ghana. Jata Cement is here. Diamond Cement
said
is
clinker.
But we have to.
No,
Yeah, we
no,
still
no, no.
have to
Initially, you
import.
touched on
Clinker.
manufacturing.
I
if
said
we have
manufacturing of clinker.
We have focused. No, you said if we
Manufacturing
have
of clinker.
focused on the cement
Manufacturing
production
of
arena.
clinker.
And so
Clinker.
that's why I want to
Open
put
you,
you
let him- let
in
him
proper
talk. Open you, let him
perspective.
talk.
I said clinker.
So these
Open you,
are
let
the
him learn,
facts.
please.
It was later that you brought the clinker issue.
I have said
You
this on this
touched
platform
We are not
before.
working on industries
I
and all that.
Open-
I
open- you let him
listed
learn.
the clinker stuff.
Open you, let him learn.
So when
Please.
is
Mr. Isi.
And that's the code. And that's the code. And that's the code.
Don't worry, let's
Yes,
get
say
to
what you're
the
saying.
proper
Yeah,
issue.
you were saying.
Then the issue of debt and all that.
Which factories?
It's true. There's debts, okay? When President Kufuor was leaving, our debt was about $8
But
billion
do
in
we
dollar
agree?
terms.
Do we agree?
Okay,
that we don't?
no, let me
ask
put it.
you
No,
this
let me
before.
put it.
No,
so that he
you
was a minister.
You say
in the
this. I'm
government.
just asking you this question. Then you move on to that one.
Okay.
Will we agree that we don't manufacture cement or we don't produce cement right here in Ghana? Will we agree that what we have,
No,
the factories
no.
that we have
Yes.
here, they import
Yes,
and then
the
they
raw
mix it.
materials. They import the raw
So
materials.
they import the raw materials and then we mix it. So we agree to it.
Yes,
Okay,
so
that's
it's
okay. Now let's
there.
move
Yeah,
on. All right.
thank you. And from 8 billion, they move it to about 122 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent of about 29 billion. So the NDC then had added about $21 billion to the debt. Okay, now as we speak, it's moved from 122 to 658 billion. Okay, in dollar terms, it's moved to 51 billion. This government has added $22 billion to the debt stock. $22 billion to the debt stock. So what are we talking about? Okay, so it's important if you want to do the aggregation and discount and co, whatever debt. When 122 billion was there, did we take it out? That $29 billion. It's part of our debt profile. our debt portfolio.
122 billion.
Yes, 20,
and
which
you
was
have
then
added what?
$29 billion.
Okay. And you have,
they added $21 billion.
21, you have
we
added
have added $22 billion.
Okay.
Okay, that's the truth. Because our debt as of now is about $51 billion. You get it?
Should have been lower.
So, no, what are we talking about?
What have you used that money for?
Yes, I've told you, the infrastructure
What
is
infrastructure?
massive. Infrastructure is massive, unprecedented.
Are you going to be able to finish all the infrastructure you brought in?
The 1B, 1F, as we speak, 2 fishing harbors have been completed. 10 landing sites along the coast is there.
2 fishing
for everybody.
harbors,
Yes,
and they are in
Jamestown
operation?
and then Elmina fishing harbors. So go, send your men to go and look at them.
Oh, you are saying something.
So the Elmina has been in operation for some time now.
Okay.
So go check them.
Under the 111 hospitals.
Jamestown is just here. Okay. Okay.
Where are the
Agenda 111 ongoing.
When
Health Minister.
That's what I'm asking the
Minister. Yes, ongoing. Some of
Ongoing
the
means what?
when you finish, when University of Ghana started the UGMC,
Yeah.
University of Ghana, listen, it wasn't the government's idea then. He was a health minister. University of Ghana started UGMC. The government came in because University of Ghana was going for an international law and needed sovereign guarantee from the state. That's when Professor Mills and co were brought in. And they decided, when they were leaving, it was an empty building. It could have as well be a warehouse.
That's not true.
If you build a hospital and there's no equipment, it's not equipped, it is as well a warehouse.
It was built from scratch.
So that is
Go to the hospital. It's built from scratch.
Yes.
So what are you talking about, warehouse?
Living, it had not been equipped.
But
True.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
The hospital there.
So we
It was a
95%, and we came to do it. And professionalize it.
Will we agree?
These are facts.
Will we
These are
agree?
facts, okay?
Please, Mr.
Yes.
Isi,
Brent out of
will we
University of Ghana
agree
authorities.
that the NPP actually did tell us that it was equipped but not fully equipped?
Thank you.
So you
it was
don't say it
not
wasn't
personalized.
It was equipped but not
we came
fully
to complete
equipped.
it and
So it was
operationalize it.
95%.
There was
So it was 5%
Let
you
me tell
added
you
to
something.
it.
Polyclinics, I told you 95%.
Then so you added 5%.
Listen, polyclinics were begun by him and then not completed. Ajimamenu we completed them by 2018, went to commission them. They pelted the minister with stones. You get it? Why is he commissioning John Mahama's projects and programs? You get it? And so, where's the continuity? This is what we need to focus on. And Sagleme is there because Parliament approved $200 million. They used about $42.24 million to do it, and about $155 million, nobody can account for it. Facts.
So you've left it.
So other work has been going on. The housing minister said now he's got strategic investors to come in.
So yesterday we were told about the cathedral. How much money has gone to the cathedral?
Yes.
What has he got to show for?
No, cathedral.
What have you got to show for?
You don't put a foundation when you are
For
building.
the two main political parties, we are where we are today
with the
because...
cathedral, okay? You need to start, and Parliament approved every penny that was spent there. Parliament approved every penny that was spent there.
How it was
So what are we talking about?
So what was it?
And there's been auditing.
So what was it used for?
What wasn't approved? What wasn't approved?
Came from your contingency fund.
No.
Let me see if I have
before you build, the consultants work, okay?
Please.
And then, like the Polugu people say 12 million was thrown away. No! Okay? Site issue, mobilization, everything is done.
They'll find stories for everything.
No, that is what it is.
Bring down, show us the breakdown.
Government is
show out the breakdown.
Wait,
Their things are difficult. I will not discount that.
No, you have discounted it.
You
haven't finished one. You are
going.
Gentlemen, relax though.
That's a relax.
Please, gentlemen. Okay, I don't know what has sparked with these gentlemen today because I've never seen them like this. Gentlemen, relax.
A whole cathedral.
Relax. Let's see some messages have come. Messages have come.
But we'll get out.
Okay, all right. Let me read messages. Gentlemen, please relax.
We are finished.
Relax.
You are sitting in the car.
Relax. Let me read some messages. All right, gentlemen, please. Thank you very much. Good Good morning, Rosalind. Thanks to NPP for implementing NAPCO. I was employed as NAPCAN, but now fully employed permanent. Okay.
People will tell their story.
Let them tell. We are. Listen, Francis Arthur at Amasaman, Madam Hostel MPP man in your studio that we Ghanaians are not fools. We are going to kick them out. 419 party, clueless leadership, mismanagement leadership style. NPP Azankwa. Ghanaians say no to NPP and yes for JM. Greetings to incoming MP, Sedem Apenyo Amasaman. All right, good morning to you all. The NPP man thinks he's talking to only his party foot soldiers. His posture alone makes me change my TV off for... Oh, please don't tune out. We beg you. Please don't do this to us. We are begging you. We read it again.
Somebody else will tune in. Don't worry. Somebody else will tune in.
He said he's simply taking Ghanaians for cheap ride because he gets paid for that. We shall see. The youth of Ghana are gearing up. Kwesi from Second D, a shame. Hey, Kofi.
To this government. The youth of this country are grateful to this government.
Let's see what else we have. Okay, so I'm trying to get my messages. Okay, so this one says, hi, host, well done, Rose. Don't give the spin doctors and baby serpents a dog chance to throw dust into the eyes of the public. Please read more text messages and stop listening to these political hirelings and sycophants who have nothing sensible to... Pawili, please relax for my people. I beg you. Okay, so I have some people here. Okay, Alhaji Hamza Pikbam says, good morning, Rosalie. I'm surprised to see the Minister of Trade and Industry only talking about cement prices. Why is he not talking about iron rods, tiles, and tile cement? Rosalind, I urge you to check and you will be shocked. The fact is that nothing seems to be going on right in this country. The only thing that seems to be going on well in this country is corruption and galamsey by NPP party functionaries, according to Frimpong Boateng report. The future of this country under the wicked, super incompetent government led by President Nanado and Dr. Bawumia is pregnant and hopeless. They should give us a break. Good morning, madam. Madam Host, Dr. Bawumia and Dr. Napo is game changer for Mother Ghana. Former President Mahama have had his turn. He ended up collapsing the energy sector. Economic situation was bad. Removal of both teachers and nursing training allowances. Say no to former President Mahama and NDC. Dr. Bawumia and Napo is the answer. Basai Komla Matthias from Boem constituency. Good morning, Rosalind. This is what our politicians dislike in this country. When you tell them the truth, they will be lying against the truth. What the man said is true, but look at the NPP man is saying. NDC and NPP, they are all the same. Okay. Good morning to you. It is crucial to engage civil society and empower citizens to participate in anti-corruption efforts. This can be done through initiatives such as public education campaigns, citizen monitoring of government activities, and the creation of platforms for reporting corruption. By involving citizens in the fight against corruption, we can harness the power of collective action to hold institutions, I'm sorry, please pardon me, and individuals accountable for their actions. Yes, the whole of last week I was actually down. I couldn't come to work. Good morning, Ms. Rosalie and panelists. Number one, of all the good laws and LI we have, do we still need another LI or bill to regulate only cement? I think cement is not the only commodity. Otherwise, some people in authority aim at reducing healthy basic competition in order to keep some cement dealers out of business like they did to the banking sector. Do you agree that that is one of the reasons?
I'm saying
Mr.
that this is one of the issues that has been raised.
It's not.
Why only cement? There are also other crucial, he's mentioned fuel, there are other commodities. Why cement? And therefore, people then begin to link it to the cement manufacturers.
Okay.
And there's quite a prominent one there. In the form of Ibrahim Mahama, so people are smelling a rat.
No, this government has supported Ibrahim Mahama more than anything.
I'm just telling you why this
so he says, number three, for me, we don't need another LI or bill for only cement. If any intervention may be necessary, we only need policy brief or policy agreement for all commodities in Ghana, where all key stakeholders, business, industry are involved on roundtable discussion. Finally, if our trade ministry is really ready to beat down the price of commodities for building materials and others, then many import duties be scrapped. Obed Eto from Cape Coast. All right, good morning, Rosalind. Please tell the... Good morning, Rosalie. So this government won't do anything about this dollar, but always saying they are taking steps. That is the issue. They always say they are taking steps. Which steps are they taking? taken for 8 years and now. Hey, MPP, I love Enter Kitchen. Jerry Agbedo. I hope I got your name at Tema Gulf City. Good morning, Roslyn. Please look at our salaries as government workers and compare to the standard living under NPP. Food alone is taking all our salaries. Majority is suffering. Many are running out of the country. But Baumia said it's only NDC people who are complaining. If the head of the economic team doesn't see anything wrong with the economy despite our tears, what kind of president is he coming to be? I rubbish this survey of Baumia leading Mahama. It will never materialize unless we are not in our right senses. Every day Baumia is promising people, Mahama will surely win. John from Achimtafo.
I'm beating over that.
Francis from Commander says, good morning, Joy Parliament, to your guests, especially Comrade Segbefia. This ally to control price of cement by the trade minister is so shocking. This is how this government has been doing. Just wake up and no proper consultation.
It
will not take any advice before implementing any policy. The trade minister erred and need to withdraw the ally. He should rather send the ally to the president to reduce taxes on the raw materials. Well, good morning, madam. The 24-hour economy that can't even be explained by the party hierarchy is that 1-2 policy. Most institutions in the country are already run on 24-hour economy, from security services, transportation, banking services, hospitality services, among others. They should just concentrate on explaining the 24-hour economy and how it will be operational. A dead goat can't revive a struggling economy. Doctor are the surest bet for Ghana. DMB is coming as president, inshallah. Okay, unfortunately, I don't have enough time to read anymore. I have so many questions.
Roslyn,
yes.
I'm just reading some news. The NDPC boss.
Yes.
Kojo has passed.
Yeah, on Monday. He passed on Monday, actually. Wow. Yes, he did. He passed on Monday. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll take your final submissions and then we can go. We have to go. So let me start with you, Mr. Alex Segbefia.
Well, interesting debate this morning. And
I made it exciting.
I just feel
with
that
my woman.
I think you caused it by mentioning the word fundamental in your listing. You know, when you talk about fundamentals,
where the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
If you had left that word out of your rendition, we would have been. So we are where we are. I think that Ghanaians will judge it all come 7th of December. And he's here to do a job to protect his party. But a lot of what he says are not factual.
Oh, factual. So everything I've said is
especially factual. With the UGMC. That we take
95%.
You know, because
agreed.
The University of Ghana Medical Center, you did an expose. You actually came out at the time and said there were not even generators at the place. And a whole media house went there
95%.
And showed that generators were in place, beds were in place. So this, why? Today you are saying 95%. A lot of equipment. The 111 hospitals, where are you? So if you are going to talk about our 9, we want to know where you are. So we are clear. You see, the propaganda is too much. Let's deal with the facts. And the facts is that tomatoes are way over the price. Onions, that is the reality. Meat, go and ask the people who just did it whether they could buy the white rams or not. Go and check how much a cow is going. Wow. So all these things are there. This is the reality of the everyday person who is living. So I've heard everything that has been said. We don't agree. Coming back to the main topic, which is cement prices, I don't think that this singular act is going to solve the major problem. It is one item out of many that have gone overboard. And so I do not believe that you solve it by just looking at the manufacturers without seeing where the retailers are going to fit into that. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Isi?
Yeah, thank you. This government is a government that cares about the ordinary Ghanaian. We've put in far-reaching policies that directly affect the ordinary Ghanaian. People who were going to other credit agencies at Shylock rates to pay admission fees for their children is a thing of the past. There's hope going into the future. This government, last year, increased salaries by about 30%. This year, first half, 23%. Second half from July is 25%. It's all for the welfare of the Ghanaian. As we speak, First quarter growth of GDP is 4.7%. Industry grew by 6.1%. And manufacturing sector grew by 4% first quarter. And with this, what we got at the international level, with 4.7 or 37% of the Eurobond debt all being cancelled, it points to investors that things are turning around and there's hope for the future. Investment attraction will go on. The last one, Rosalie, ask them both, being outside before, investment in the bond market, Ghana was paying over 20%. It's absurd. Okay. The UK, US, they don't go beyond 3-5%. But here, now, we've revised it and we are around 10%, hoping to go down so that people will not bring money just to come and mess up our market. Okay. There's hope going into the future.
You know, for me, the challenge is the gradual loss of confidence in the kind of democracy we practice. That is the challenge.
Sure.
Because if people cannot make ends meet and their back is to the wall, they do things without thinking about it. Cement prices is a challenge. Food inflation is a challenge. Transportation is a challenge. School fees is a challenge. Hospital is a challenge. There are so many things that are challenging to Ghanaians today. Let me end by saying, a government comes in under an IMF policy. How do we go back there within a short duration of time?
Exogenous factors.
How? How do we go back there within a certain period of time? So it is right. When the fundamentals are wrong, the exchange rate will expose you. And that is what exposed us. And that is why we are where we are today. Oh, no. And look, they don't have any idea of solving that exchange rate.
Exactly.
Otherwise, they would have solved it.
Okay. Yeah. So this is all time will permit us for this segment. Very big thank you to my guest, Honorable Alexei Mafia. Thank you so much. He represented the NDC. Of course, Mr. AEC represented at the NPP. And Openyu Kwame Jantoa says I shouldn't say he's representing CPP.
Who said?
Okay,
I
sorry.
never said that.
CPP flag bearer.
Are you the flag bearer?
I'm not the flag bearer.
He's running away.
I'm not the flag bearer.
He's running away.
I'm in the CPP. Never ever say that.
Flag bearer. That's all time will permit us. Don't forget to go to Franco Trading Enterprise to get all your necessary gifts and your gadgets. We have Watch Trending coming up next with Estie Dua Akomia. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Newsflash was brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fear.